We live in a world in which you feel you deserve to have luxuries. In fact, they're no longer considered luxuries but necessities because most people mistakenly think they can't live without them. The problem with mistaking luxuries for necessities is that it's impossible to develop self-discipline if you need a lot just to function. How is a person who believes they need to eat empty calories in the form of pizzas, burgers, or white bread supposed to lose weight? How likely is that individual who thinks that it's necessary to lease a new car every 2 years will exert enough self-discipline to save money and deprive him or herself of what they consider a basic human need? First, you'll voluntarily put yourself in an uncomfortable situation that will help you expand your comfort zone and develop your mental resilience. Second, you'll discover whether you really need this thing in your life. And if you don't, it will provide food for thought as to how many other things in your life are in fact not as important as you thought they were. This can help you eliminate the unessential form of your life and free up additional resources to focus on what's important. Finally, you will increase your ability to feel happy with less, including being happy in a situation where you're deprived of something involuntarily. Studies show that people who are aided with technology to imagine their future selves are more likely to delay gratification. In the case of the cited study, they're more likely to save money for retirement. This shows that your self-discipline is largely affected by your ability to feel empathy towards your future self. If the vision of you 10, 20, or 30 years from now isn't particularly vivid, you'll have a hard time denying yourself pleasures today so the stranger in the future can benefit. For this reason, consider occasionally meditating on your future self. Ask yourself if today you're grateful for the choices you made several years ago, or if you wish that in the past you had been more concerned about your future. Are the choices you're making today choices that are only benefiting the present you, but don't contribute to, or even worse, jeopardize your well-being in the future? The person you'll become in 10 years will most likely not be the same person you are today, but it will still be you. And it's in your hands whether 10 years from now you'll look back and feel glad, you'll extend self-empathy well into the future, or you'll find you decide to be selfish and steal from your future for some fleeting pleasure today.
Every great story starts small. Words become sentences, sentences become paragraphs, and over time, those paragraphs start to breathe. When you compare your early work to a masterpiece, it's easy to feel discouraged. What you don't see is the years behind it. The failed drafts, the bad sentences, the thousands of words that went nowhere. Mastery is built one small piece at a time. Self-discipline works the same way. The people who seem superhuman, waking up early, staying fit, focused, productive, and balanced, didn't start that way. They began with one simple change and stacked another on top of it. Progress isn't instant, it's gradual. Small choices turn into habits. Habits turn into lifestyle changes. And over time, those changes reshape who you are. So when the journey feels long, remember this: you're not behind. You're just still writing the early chapters. Keep building. It's easy to believe that successful people were simply born different, more talented, more confident, more gifted. But talent is only part of the story. Self-discipline without talent can produce extraordinary results. Talent without self-discipline usually wastes itself. Many people who look naturally gifted are actually standing on years of uncomfortable effort you never saw. I wasn't born confident or outgoing. I was shy, awkward, afraid to speak up. Compared to others, it looked like I lacked whatever made people successful. But that discomfort became fuel. By repeatedly pushing beyond my comfort zone, I built skills that didn't come naturally: communication, confidence, and resilience. Not because I was talented, but because I was consistent. I still prefer solitude. I wasn't born a people person. But discipline closed the gap where talent was missing. So before you say, "I'm just not built for this," remember this: in many areas of life, self-discipline can outperform talent. Consistency can beat genetics, and effort applied daily can rewrite who you become. Keep building. Calmness of mind isn't something you're born with. It's built, slowly, patiently, through self-control. In a world that never stops buzzing, a calm mind can feel like a superpower. Distractions are everywhere. Noise lives in our pockets, and the ability to stay steady has become rare. But calmness isn't reserved for monks or mystics. It's a skill, and it's trainable. Practices like meditation help develop patience, reduce stress, and increase self-control. But meditation isn't the only path. Any activity that fully anchors you in the present moment can create the same effect. High-focus movement like yoga, climbing, or boxing, or simple quiet acts like gardening, dancing, or working with your hands. What matters isn't the activity, it's the attention. The more often you practice entering this focused state, the calmer you become in everyday life. And with calmness comes clarity. With clarity comes control. When emotions no longer run the show, judgment sharpens, and the mind becomes a place of choice, not reaction. Keep practicing. Calm is built. Discipline is the ability to choose between what you want now and what you want most. Every small decision is a vote. Choosing instant pleasure, like breaking a diet or skipping the work, may feel harmless in the moment. One choice doesn't change everything, but it sets a direction. Over time, those choices shape your habits, your body, and your life. They reveal whether you're living for immediate comfort or long-term purpose. When instant gratification keeps winning, it's often because the deeper why isn't strong enough. If your reasons were powerful, temptation would lose its grip. Picture a line. On one end is the satisfaction of what you want now. On the other is the satisfaction of what you want most. If those two feelings are close, discipline is hard. But when what you want most is far more meaningful, resisting temptation becomes easier. So strengthen the pull of your long-term vision. Make your future rewards bigger than today's cravings. Because the life you want most is built by the choices you make when no one's watching. Keep choosing forward. Failure doesn't come from lack of effort. It comes from short-term thinking. We want fast results, quick wins, immediate proof that what we're doing is working. I spent years starting new projects, convinced that success should happen in months, not years. When it didn't, I quit and moved on. Sometimes I chased multiple paths at once, hoping one would hit. The problem wasn't the ideas, it was the mindset. The moment I committed to the long haul, progress became real. The same pattern shows up everywhere. In fitness, extreme approaches promise fast results, but they're rarely sustainable. Slow, consistent effort over a year beats burnout in 3 months. In learning, cramming leads to frustration. Small daily progress, repeated for years, leads to mastery. Long-term focus is a form of discipline. It's choosing sustainable effort over shortcuts, patience over pressure, consistency over intensity. Look at your goals and how you're pursuing them. If your approach can't last, it won't work. Stay in the game. That's where results are built.